there is any reportable closed session action, a report will be made at the beginning of the next regular council meeting. I ask that after the closed session item descriptions are read by the mayor, that all members of council, applicable consultants, and staff join the closed session meeting.
Thank you. If anyone would like to comment on the matters that we will be proceeding to in closed session, you can get a speaker's card from the clerk. If you're online, raise your hand. I don't see any online. And you'll be acknowledged in order. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone who wishes to speak?
Not at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
We will be going into closed session to deal with two matters. First, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, conference with legal counsel regarding anticipated litigation. Initiation of litigation pursuant to paragraph 4 of subsection D, one potential case. The second matter, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, threat to public services or facilities consultation with Chief Christian Sachs, City of Marysville, Police Chief. The closed session will be brief and we will return. We're adjourned here. We will return to open session later.
The Marysville Hotel structural report is in. Structural engineers wrote that the Marysville Hotel is, quote, at the risk of failure given normal wind loading and current gravity loads. These failures may be brittle and catastrophic failures with little or no warning time. The fifth-story wall, parapet, and facade are also fall problems which could crush anyone standing underneath. The engineers recommend setting a 105-foot perimeter around the five-story structure and that, quote, any buildings within this radius should be protected or vacated until further notice, unquote. That would seem to involve fencing off 5th Street, E Street, restricting parking lots to the south, and 5 buildings along D Street, including the former Training Zone Bradley's Building, Training Zone National Dollar, former VIP Pets Woolworth, and the former Elliott Photo Framing Building next door, where VIP Pets is now. Thursday afternoon, only Marysville Public Works and Caltrans barricades blocked streets in the area, and a lone security guard was watching the building to keep people away. Yesterday, that apparently didn't keep a couple of young men out of the alley or keep one of them out of the fire-ravaged hotel, the guard told me. He says Marysville Police Chief Chris Sachs tackled the insider when he tried to flee from the E Street side. We're waiting for a call back from Chief Sachs. Meantime, businesses are seeing more traffic on D Street than they have in years due to the detours, while business continues in several of the buildings in the hotel fall zone. Malia Campbell owns the 2-story apartment and office building just south of the hotel at 3rd Street and the High Street Alley.
There's 5 residents. We've evacuated them all and offered to put them up in a hotel room for the night.
While they returned on Sunday, she was concerned after reading about the engineer's report in the Appeal Democrat.
I came down last night to measure my building distance because I wanted to see if I was outside that 105 feet. I took a tape measure and ran it across the parking lot. It stood literally next to the building, the Marysville Hotel, and I'm at 126 feet. I'm safe to be here. Not a soul was around to tell me to not approach the building. So I'm not sure what kind of enforcement's being done for all the concerns they have about potential imminent collapse.
Campbell found the report was contradictory.
Well, it's an interesting report. Not terribly surprising when they deemed that it's unsafe. But I was a little surprised when they talked about it's not safe to go into. They want a 105-foot radius where kind of a crash zone, I guess you can call it that. But the next paragraph states that if they do further analysis and testing, they might find that the building is safe after all, should they choose to salvage it. And I feel like they need to decide it's either safe or it's not safe, tear it down or fix it. But the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to become on the business owners in downtown Marysville. So it felt like a politician's report. On the one hand, it's not safe. But on the other hand, it might be safe. So what is it, and how long does it take for the further analysis? Because time is money for business owners.
The city's next steps include proclaiming a local emergency due to the structure's hazardous condition and ongoing traffic tie-ups. That'll happen Friday morning around 9 a.m. when the City Council holds two meetings, a closed session followed by an open session to ratify the local emergency proclamation. That asks Governor Newsom to proclaim a state of emergency, include the city of Marysville in any emergency declaration by the state, ensure the city of Marysville is included in any emergency declaration that may be issued by the president, waive regulations that may hinder response and recovery efforts, and make available California Disaster Act and state private nonprofit organizations assistance program funding. Late this afternoon, a new wrinkle. Urban Smart Growth offered to give the hotel property to the city of Marysville. The appeal reporting the hotel owner said the city can quickly remediate the hazard. City manager Jim Schad told the appeal, "I do not see this as a reasonable solution for a problem that is clearly the responsibility of the property owner." Schad says the offer will be discussed in the 9 a.m. closed session. Public comments will be taken. The first meeting, 9 a.m. at Marysville City Hall, 6th and C Streets. We'll stream it live here on Yuba-Sutter.live.
I love downtown Marysville. For better or worse, here it is. So let's see what the city can do.
In Marysville, Ted Langdell, Yuba-Sutter.live. Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Good morning. I call this special meeting of the Marysville City Council to order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Belza.
Here.
Councilmember Gilchrist.
Here.
Councilmember Hudson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Buddicavoli.
Here.
Mayor Branscombe.
Here, thank you. We have one matter on the agenda this morning. It will be dealt with, and the public will be able to comment on the matter when called for. If you are here and would like to speak, you can get a speaker's card from the clerk. And if you have any documentation you want to share, send it to the City Clerk, 526 East Street, Marysville. The matter is agenda item 1, proclamation declaring a local state of emergency by the Director of Emergency Services for the Marysville Hotel property. Recommendation: pass a motion to approve the emergency proclamation declaring a local state of emergency by the Director of Emergency Services for the property located at 425th Street, known as the Marysville Hotel. Mr. Jim Shad.
Morning, Mayor, Council. We called the special meeting and are recommending proclamation of emergency due to the incident we had this weekend with the Marysville Hotel fire, which was a significant impact and loss and continues to be an impact to the community. The fire starting late Saturday night continued into the early morning of Sunday, and our firefighters, led by Chief Hegstrom, as well as many other agencies, fire units responded. Unfortunately, they were not able to suppress the fire to the point that the building was not totally engulfed. I will say the building was vacant, and so very fortunate that there was no loss of life. I think our fire staff did an excellent job of containing the fire and ensuring that the other buildings in the area were not affected. Now we're at the point where, though the immediate incident is over, we have what I would say is a devastating impact to the community due to the traffic issues that the building's lack of integrity has caused. We have our Caltrans partners here. They are very well aware of that impact as well. And the two major impacts have been the negative impact to traffic through a major highway that runs through the city, and that has in fact affected commuting and also important the movement of goods. The other major impact has been to our business community, particularly in the downtown area. And we have had many reports from our local businesses that this has been a huge impact to their operations and to their revenue. The unfortunate circumstance is that the building has been deemed unsafe by a structural engineer, and we need to maintain a 105-foot clearance around the building, which encompasses the state highway all the way to the far lanes, that most westbound lanes. So the priority for my staff and I is to somehow make it safe to allow that traffic to move forward. We have been working with Caltrans and other agencies. We have been working with some of the private concerns to both mitigate the impact short term, but look for solutions to remediate long term and open things back up. We have 4 or 5 demolitions companies that we will be looking at the property on Monday and with them so that we can get an idea of the cost. This incident, the aftermath has devastated and taxed the local resources. Our both chiefs have spent considerable resource, and our police chief is continuing to spend considerable resources just dealing with the traffic. Had a meeting with our Caltrans folks yesterday, and they are suffering the same consequences. And we are really taxing the community and the agencies in the region. Because of that, we are moving forward with a proclamation of local emergency, and we'll be reaching out to the state, Cal OES, immediately after this meeting and press conference to start understanding what the process will be to get assistance from the state. I'll leave it at that and open it up to questions.
We will open to public comment first and then proceed to questions and comments from the council. We have a speaker.
Yes, so our first public speaker is David Sperbeck.
Welcome, Mr. Sperbeck.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
And let's try to keep this to 2 minutes or less if we could.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I just wondered, I've lived near the Marysville Hotel for many years, and I wondered what kind of protections against squatters were in line. Because as a property owner myself, near here, I had no help with squatters for 3 years. The squatters took over the property as they did with the Marysville Hotel. And right now, I have to go to a jury trial to try to save my property, as the people who owned the Marysville Hotel, they were trying to develop it. I heard over the years, Mercy Housing offered some funding for parking in that. And I was told by a Mercy spokesperson that Marysville was so difficult to deal with that they backed out of the whole process. I just wondered, what's the future for Marysville as far as squatters and that? Do we have any type of restrictions on people breaking into your property? And what recourse have we? Because you know what? For 3 years, no help. The property's been condemned by the city now. I have to go to a jury trial to try to protect my property from the city tearing it down. I have a work permit. I came over here the other day trying to talk to the building supply, and I was escorted out of this building, which is the People's Hall, by the chief of police here in Marysville, saying, "You're done here." I just want to know about the future. Is it worthwhile to stay in Marysville and get some kind of protection for your property? Because otherwise, it's a done deal. Marysville's done.
Thank you, sir.
Our next public speaker will be David Pittman.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Vice Mayor and City Council members. My name is David Pittman. I happen to be the elected mayor of the City of Oroville, and I'm here to offer you a lessons learned. In Oroville, back in '74, we had a large quarter block building burn, Payless drugstore, and we made the mistake of walking away from that building and saying it was the building owner's responsibility to take care of it. We sat and looked at that eyesore for almost 15 years. Shortly after that, we had another building burn, Purdue Furniture Fire, and that was another quarter block. And we stayed on it. The fire department continued its firefighting efforts. 5 days later, it was a parking lot. And that's a difference made in responding to this. So as a lesson learned, I support your actions here to jump on this issue. You don't want to have it linger along, and you don't want to give it back to the property owner and go through litigation in the last decades. As you all very well know, you have the huge job of protecting your community, and I applaud you for your efforts that have been up to this point. I also give high recommendations to your fire department. They did an excellent job. You need to be very proud of that. I come from the fire service with over 4 decades of experience, and I just wanted to come here and offer you lessons learned. I support your action today and certainly think that you're going down a good path to help your community and, I might add, help the region. You know, we're connected by a river and a major roadway now. We're only 28 miles apart, and we all have folks coming back and forth in our community. And I hear every day somebody's talking about the inconvenience of the reroute, but it's also the inconvenience of our shipping and all the other things that help in our economy. So what you do here today also affects our region, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mayor Pittman. It's good to see you in person. We've been corresponding.
Yes, we have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk.
Our final speaker is Gary Bradford.
Gary, well, always welcome.
Good morning, Mayor, council members. Gary Bradford, Yuba County Supervisor. I represent the southern part of Yuba County, the Plumas Lake and Wheatland areas, and I just wanted to come and speak in support of the emergency declaration that you're doing this morning. It's before you, and I also wanted to point out the amount of elected officials from the region that are here this morning. I think that's a very important point for our state partners to take notice of. Not only do you have Yuba County elected officials here, you have elected officials from Sutter County, City of Oroville, and the City of Yuba City, and I think that they're here because this is a regional impact, what's going on right now. It is not just the city of Marysville, and it's not just the traffic that's a regional impact. The result of that is a regional impact to our economy. I certainly have constituents, and myself included, that think twice right now about coming to not only Marysville, but also to Yuba City because of the amount of additional drive time that it takes, and maybe I choose not to visit businesses that I would otherwise visit. And so it is very important to get state assistance, get this taken care of, and get our regional economy back up and running. So thank you.
Yuba County Supervisor Gary Bradford, thank you. I see Supervisor Carm Baines.
Yes, our next speaker is Carm Baines.
Welcome. Sutter County Supervisor Carm Baines.
Thank you. As a Sutter County Supervisor, I stand here at the city of Marysville during this incredibly challenging time. The devastating fire at the Marysville Hotel is a significant loss to our community, both in the terms of historical value and the immediate impact on residents and businesses. We understand the profound effects this tragedy has had on the city, and we fully support Marysville's decision to declare a state of emergency. The declaration is a crucial step to mobilizing the necessary resources and assistance to help the community recover and rebuild. And again, we're here to show support.
Thank you, Carm. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk?
No further speakers.
Thank you, ma'am. Now open to council for comments and questions. Mr. Belza.
Thank you. I just want to reiterate on what our other community electeds have said about the regional impact that this is having across the board. I'm hearing comments, complaints, frustrations on the regular basis, as we all are. And I do want to thank our other local communities for being here today to help support this and recognize the devastation that this has had over our community. Marysville Hotel is a tragic loss, a historic building, and I think all of us and many of our families have great stories and memories for it. But the state that it's in now, we've got to move forward on remediating this as quickly as possible. Negative impact on the economics in Marysville has been dire. Our local businesses are not corporate chains. They don't have support stores to help keep them alive through this. They rely on daily sales. And I'm getting reports and have talked to business owners that are ready to begin to close their doors, and people's livelihoods are being impacted by this tremendously. And not to mention emergency services. Marysville is the regional hotel or the regional hospital and serves South Yuba County. And there's only 2 points of access from South County into the city of Marysville, the East Street Bridge and Simpson Lane, and both have been drastically impacted by this. Though we had no loss of life in the fire itself, God forbid, I'd hate to think of loss of life because emergency services couldn't get somebody to the hospital in a reasonable amount of time. We need a quick and decisive remediation of this. We need to get Highway 70 opened up ASAP as quick as we can. I think we need to pursue all resources we can to get this issue resolved. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vice Mayor.
I want to thank all the other jurisdictions for being here. One of the things that we all know, once you've gotten into the jurisdiction, working with the jurisdictions and being part of them, is how long everything takes to get. And we know the community wants to see everything happen tomorrow, but that's not the process. And I appreciate, again, you guys being here because you all understand that. Be assured, we're trying to move this as fast as possible in any way possible. But unfortunately, there's a lot of slow procedures that we have to follow. So I just, again, I want to give some credit to these three gentlemen over here who did everything they could to contain not only the building, but everything around it, which I'm not sure if people understand. Saving the buildings around the hotel was a chore in its own. So thank you to you guys. And again, thank you to all of you that have shown up to understand the direction that we're going in. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Obviously, don't want to sound like a broken record. Truly appreciate our staff. Truly appreciate our other local elected that are able to come here in support of this thing. As a former first responder and current business owner, I do have my ear to the ground with other businesses, and I'm hearing a lot of what has been shared, and it's not good. But regionally, this is an issue. And more so, thank you to our staff and everybody that's helped out to be able to make things happen. It has immensely put a lot of stress on your departments, traffic, EMS, Public Works, and so forth, and the City Hall staff for handling and fielding everything that's been going on. So that's all I have. Thank you very much for everything and everybody's current support.
Thank you. Gilchrist.
Yes, we need to take care of this, make this proclamation immediately. I have seen firsthand our businesses struggling. I have seen firsthand accidents in our intersections, and we have residents that actually can't gain access to their homes. We need to take care of this immediately.
Friends and fellow electeds, these are the salient facts. The Hotel Marysville structure is at risk of collapse. Demolition is clearly indicated. Transit in the city and through the city on the two state highways that intersect in the middle of Marysville severely compromised and will be until the risk is removed. Same goes for commerce within the city, severely impacted. Structures in the air within 105 feet of the old hotel must remain unoccupied. Police and other city services are highly engaged and stretched. The owner of the building and its parent company have yet to express any serious interest in accepting financial responsibility. Negotiations are ongoing. That's a story unto itself. We will be formally declaring an emergency, thereby opening potential involvement by the Governor's Office of Emergency Services. As City Manager mentioned, demolition contractors have been contacted and will be here on Monday to assess and provide guidance on the cost and timing to demolish. Funding for the near-term demolition and ultimate financial responsibility, and those are two different things. Funding for the near-term demolition and then ultimate financial responsibility are to be determined. That would be particularly city management and staff and the council, are working feverishly to solve and remedy all of the above as quickly as humanly possible. What is the will of the council on this matter?
Make a motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, Madam Clerk. Thank you. There will be a press conference following this meeting. We're going to adjourn and return for the press conference in about 15 minutes. We're now adjourned. Thank you.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at PlumasLakeSelfStorage.com.